Today, we delve into a chilling tale that gripped the world, the tragic story of Kim Wall, a brilliant journalist whose quest for truth led her into the clutches of her murderer. This narrative is not just about the darkness that lies in the hearts of some, but also about the enduring spirit of a woman who lived to tell the stories of others, only to become a story herself. So, buckle up as we embark on this deeply moving journey, unraveling the events that led to a fateful encounter and the aftermath that followed. Join us as we pay tribute to Kim Wall's legacy, a reminder of both the risks journalists face in their pursuit of truth and the resilience of those they leave behind. Stay tuned as we explore the journalist who went to interview her killer. Kim Isabel Fredrika Wall, born into the vibrant heart of Trelleborg, Sweden, on the brisk spring day of March 23, 1987, would carve a path that resonated with the pulse of storytelling and adventure. The daughter of Ingrid, a journalist with a keen eye for economic narratives, and Joachim Wall, a photographer whose work captured moments in time, Kim inherited a legacy of curiosity and creativity. Alongside her younger brother Tom, she was nurtured in a household where the air was thick with tales of the world beyond, their parents often whisking them away to distant lands on journalistic expeditions, instilling in them the value of stories untold. From a tender age, Kim's destiny seemed written in the stars. Her mother fondly recalls how, at just 6 years old, Kim's voracious appetite for stories led her to teach herself to read, eager to dive into worlds far beyond the bedtime tales that left her yearning for more. Kim's spirit, described as nothing short of radiant, brimming with joy, resilience, and a brilliance that lit up every room, was matched only by her insatiable wanderlust and a deep-rooted compassion that guided her steps. Emerging from her adolescence in Malmö with a tapestry of achievements, Kim was poised for greatness, but sought a path distinct from the economic journalism her mother was known for. Her dreams stretched beyond the familiar landscapes of Sweden. She envisioned herself as a beacon for the silenced voices across the globe, those overlooked by the mainstream media. This vision led her to the bustling streets of London, where she joined the ranks of the London School of Economics. Among the intellectual fervor of approximately 11,000 students, Kim thrived, her passion for international relations fueling her academic journey until her graduation in 2011. The allure of further knowledge pulled her across the Atlantic to the vibrant city of New York. Here, she undertook the rigorous challenge of a dual master's degree in journalism and international relations at Columbia University. Her academic pursuits were complemented by an impressive linguistic prowess, including Mandarin Chinese, reflecting her global perspective and readiness to engage with the world in its own myriad tongues. Kim's friends reminisce about her warmth, her sharp intellect, and an indomitable spirit that drove her to seek the heart of every story. Her career as an independent journalist was marked by an enviable portfolio, gracing the pages of prestigious publications such as the New York Times, Harper's, Time, The Atlantic, and Vice magazine. Her words transcended language barriers, touching hearts and minds worldwide. Her journalistic odyssey took her from the aftermath of conflict in Sri Lanka to the heart of the United Nations as a press fellow. She delved into the rebirth of Haiti's tourism industry post-earthquake and ventured into Cuba's burgeoning tech scene. Her explorations led her to the unexpected corners of the world, like a Chinatown nestled in Uganda, and back to Sri Lanka to shed light on the intertwining of feminism and guerrilla warfare. The year 2016 saw Kim's relentless pursuit of truth and beauty recognized with the prestigious Hansel Meath Award for Best Digital Report for Exodus, a compelling multimedia narrative that wove together the impacts of climate change and nuclear testing in the Marshall Islands. In 2017, her life took a turn towards the personal as she embraced a relationship with Ole Staab, a Danish designer. Together, they settled in a quaint Danish town, a stone's throw from Malmö, connected by a bridge that spanned more than just the physical distance, but also the journey of two souls intertwined by love and shared aspirations. As Kim and her partner prepared to embark on a new chapter of their lives in China, their family was swept up in a mix of emotions. They were overjoyed to see Kim so happy and in love, and the thought of her moving abroad with her partner brought them a sense of comfort. Typically, Kim's journalistic pursuits led her into the heart of conflict zones, stirring deep worries within her family. Yet, the prospect of her starting anew in China, alongside her boyfriend, eased their concerns considerably. At 30, Kim had already crafted a life that many could only dream of. Her career was flourishing, her family's support was unwavering, and she was about to embark on an exciting journey with the love of her life. They planned a farewell party for August 10, 2017, to bid adieu to their loved ones before their departure to China scheduled for August 16. However, just before the celebrations could commence, Kim received an unexpected message from Peter Madsen, a name that would soon become pivotal in her story. But who exactly was Peter Madsen? Why did his message hold significance? Peter Madsen's life had been a tapestry of personal challenges and exceptional ingenuity. Born in Denmark on January 12, 1971, his childhood took a turn when his mother left their family early on. Raised by his father, Peter found solace and connection in a shared passion for spacecraft. Although he ventured into engineering studies after high school, his true calling beckoned him elsewhere, to the world of inventions and dreams bigger than the classrooms could contain. Following his father's death when he was 18, Peter poured his heart and soul into building submarines and rockets, leading to the foundation of Copenhagen Suborbitals in 2008. His ambition? To launch manned missions into space aboard his self-made crafts. Dubbed Rocket Madsen by the press, he became known for his pioneering spirit, culminating in the creation of the UC-3 Nautilus, a submarine that was not only a marvel of personal engineering but also a testament to his relentless pursuit of the extraordinary. Funded through sponsors and crowdfunding, the Nautilus represented more than just a vessel. It was a symbol of Peter's dreams and ambitions. The submarine and Peter's journey caught the public's eye, leading to a biography and a documentary titled Amateurs in Space that celebrated his audacious endeavors. By this time, Peter Madsen had cemented his status as a celebrity in his home country. It was against this backdrop that Kim, ever the intrepid journalist, sought to tell Madsen's story. Intrigued by his achievements and the allure of the Nautilus, she reached out for an interview. And so, on the afternoon of August 10th, Peter's message arrived, offering Kim an opportunity to step into his world for a story she hoped would captivate her audience. Accepting his invitation, she planned to meet Madsen at 7 p.m. at the dock, conduct the interview aboard the Nautilus, and return by 10 p.m., just in time to join her farewell party. It seemed like the perfect plan, neatly fitting into her packed schedule before the big move. Kim shared the unexpected invitation with Ole, seeking his thoughts on the adventurous proposition. Ole, ever supportive, encouraged her to seize the opportunity, though he harbored a desire to join her on this novel excursion. The thought of venturing out to sea in a self-built submarine presented a unique thrill, an experience that could have been memorable for the both of them. However, with the farewell party they were hosting that very evening, Ole decided it was best he stayed behind to attend to their guests. Thus, at 7 p.m., Kim made her way alone to the pier, her heart set on the interview with Peter Madsen. By 8:30 p.m., as the submarine prepared to dive, a momentary interaction occurred that would later be recounted by a group of Norwegians passing by in their boat. They engaged in light-hearted banter with Peter, who boasted about the submarine's capabilities, seemingly in an attempt to impress. The atmosphere was jovial, yet Kim remained outside the conversation, an observer to the fleeting camaraderie. The Norwegian man captured this encounter in photographs, not realizing these images would be among the last taken of Kim alive. The digital footprint of Kim's presence on the submarine is limited to a few text messages exchanged with Ole. In one, she reassured him of her safety, mentioning their imminent dive and expressing her love, accompanied by a mention of the coffee and cookies Peter had brought along. Ole continued to text her, receiving no further responses. As the night progressed and Kim failed to return home, concern began to shadow Ole's initial optimism. By 10:30 p.m., with no sign of Kim, Ole took to her bicycle, venturing out to the port in search of any sign of their return. With each passing hour, his worry deepened, leading him to contact the police at 1:45 a.m. on August 11th, followed by a call to the Navy, reporting Kim's disappearance. The search for the Nautilus intensified as the Coast Guard and other vessels scoured the waters, hoping for a sign of the submarine or its occupants. A breakthrough came the morning of August 11th when a lighthouse keeper reported sighting the submarine near the Koge Strait. The Coast Guard raced against time, only to witness the Nautilus begin to sink upon their arrival. Moments before, Peter Madsen had made a desperate escape into the water, where he was promptly rescued, alone. Upon his rescue and subsequent arrest on suspicions of manslaughter, Peter Madsen offered the first of what would become multiple versions of the events that transpired. He claimed to have safely deposited Kim at the port the previous night, near a well-monitored restaurant, a statement quickly discredited by surveillance footage that showed no trace of Kim. This discrepancy cast a looming shadow of doubt and marked the beginning of a harrowing search for the truth behind Kim Wall's disappearance. Kim's sudden and unexplained silence raised immediate alarms among her loved ones. Not a word to her family or a response to Ole's concerned messages. Such behavior was out of character, especially considering the circumstances. It wasn't long before Peter Madsen's initial account of the events on August 11th was scrutinized and dismissed as falsehood. By the following day, Madsen shifted his narrative. He claimed a tragic accident aboard the submarine resulted in Kim's death. A heavy hatch purportedly fell, fatally injuring her. This explanation led him to admit to disposing of her body at sea, an act he described as a solitary decision made amidst thoughts of suicide and a subsequent nap. However, the investigation quickly began to unravel the true nature of events. The submarine, upon examination, showed clear signs of intentional sabotage to ensure its sinking. The discovery of Kim's blood within the submarine further implicated Madsen, though her body remained missing. The grim reality surfaced on August 21st when a beachgoer stumbled upon a horrifying find: a naked torso, later identified through DNA as Kim's. This discovery was followed by the retrieval of her dismembered remains, strategically weighed down in plastic bags, from various underwater locations. Madsen's story evolved yet again by October, this time asserting that Kim succumbed to carbon monoxide poisoning within the engine compartment. His admission of dismembering her body contradicted his earlier denials, yet forensic analysis painted a more sinister picture. Kim's body bore multiple stab wounds and other injuries inconsistent with Madsen's account, nullifying his claims of accidental death. Furthermore, there was no evidence of gas leaks aboard the submarine that could lead to such an incident. Investigators posited that Kim had been bound and subjected to violence, indicated by ligature marks on her wrists and elbows. The assortment of wounds made it impossible to pinpoint the exact cause of death. A search of Madsen's property unveiled chilling evidence of his perverse inclinations. Dozens of snuff films and links to similar content were found, mirroring the injuries inflicted on Kim. Madsen's social and professional circles began to reveal disturbing aspects of his persona, including participation in fetish parties and a self-proclaimed affinity for sadism, traits that were overlooked or minimized by those around him. His co-founder, Christopher Meyer, struggled to reconcile the creative and visionary aspects of Madsen's character with the horrifying reality of his actions. As the case proceeded, the prosecution aimed for the severest penalty, life imprisonment, driven by the gravity of Madsen's crimes and the haunting possibility that Kim might not have been his only victim. The unraveling of Peter Madsen's facade exposed a deeply troubled individual, leaving a community grappling with the shocking extent of his malfeasance. The investigation into Peter Madsen's past actions unearthed a particularly curious case that caught the attention of the prosecutor's office. It was the disappearance of Kazuko Toyonaga, a 22-year-old Japanese tourist who vanished under eerily similar circumstances in 1986 in the same city. At the time, Madsen would have been just 15 years old. This striking parallel led to the reopening of Toyonaga's case, though no concrete evidence was found to directly link Madsen to the incident. The trial of Peter Madsen, spanning from March 8 to April 25, 2018, became a focal point for global media attention. Journalists from over 15 countries converged to cover the proceedings, underscoring the international shock and fascination with the case. Prosecutors painted a grim picture of Madsen's intentions, arguing that he had harbored violent sexual fantasies that he sought to fulfill through premeditated murder. They pointed to his preparation for the crime, highlighting that he had equipped the submarine with tools like sharp screwdrivers, hooks, and saws, items unnecessary for a simple voyage but sinister in this context. Experts testifying at the trial described Madsen as highly intelligent yet profoundly disturbed, characterizing him as a sexual deviant with sadistic obsessions. His apparent lack of remorse or guilt was emphasized by the prosecution, noting his chilling tendency to keep personal items of his victims, like Kim Wall's underwear and stockings, as grotesque souvenirs. The trial also revealed narrow escapes for at least 3 women who had been invited onto the submarine by Madsen but had declined for various reasons. Their reasons ranged from finding his persistence odd to feelings of claustrophobia, with one woman expressing her unease with Madsen's text messages in a magazine interview. Despite the mounting evidence and testimonies, Madsen maintained his innocence throughout the trial, offering shifting explanations for his actions. He claimed his varied accounts were attempts to spare Kim Wall's family the harrowing details of her death, stating, "I was just thinking about Kim's relatives. It's a horrible story. I knew I was dead and that I wouldn't return." He only had one purpose, and it was to spare his parents the details of what happened. Ultimately, the court found Peter Madsen guilty on all counts, including premeditated murder, indecent handling of a corpse, and sexual assault, sentencing him to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. In Denmark, a life sentence typically equates to 15 years, with the option to petition for parole after serving 12 years. This verdict brought a close to a case that had captured the world's attention, leaving a trail of horror, disbelief, and a deep sense of loss for Kim Wall and her loved ones. In light of Peter Madsen's heinous crime, prosecutors advocated for his permanent detention, underscoring the grave risk he posed of committing further atrocities. Within the confines of prison, Madsen reportedly developed an infatuation with a prison official, a relationship that resulted in her dismissal. Subsequent to this controversy, Peter Madsen entered into matrimony with Jenny Kirpin, a Russian national. Kirpin publicly professed her love and support for Madsen, acknowledging his crime but arguing that he was also a victim of his own actions, and that his continued existence served as his punishment. In the wake of their daughter's tragic demise, Kim Wall's parents authored a book celebrating her life and chronicling their profound grief and enduring pain. This tribute also serves as a testament to Kim's vibrant spirit and her profound impact on the world. To honor Kim's memory and support aspiring journalists, her parents established a foundation named after her. This foundation is dedicated to fostering the growth and development of young journalists, ensuring that Kim's legacy continues to inspire and empower future generations. Peter Madsen's story took another dramatic turn in October 2020 when he attempted a daring escape from prison. Using a makeshift weapon to threaten a psychologist, he initiated a bold breakout. Although his plan involved fleeing in a white van, the police swiftly intervened, thwarting his escape. Surrounded by law enforcement, Madsen awaited capture, delayed only by the suspicion that he wore an explosive belt, a testament to his engineering acumen. After a tense standoff, bomb disposal experts confirmed the absence of explosives, leading to Madsen's rearrest. This incident further underscored the persistent danger Madsen poses, with authorities continuing to caution the public about his potential for violence.